Assalamu alaikum. In this video, Alhamdulillah, we are learning morphology of Arabic verbs. So let's begin, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This session, inshallah, will include going over the keys of the last assignment and particles of verbs. So let's go over the last assignment, inshallah. Our last assignment was to find simple verbs in the verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, verses 17 to 20. So let's go over. So the way we're supposed to do, we are supposed to browse over and find the simple verbs, right? So I already looked through the verbs and I browsed over and found the verbs, and I'm sure you have done also, alhamdulillah. So let's go over them very quickly, inshallah. So if you browse over from the top, I'm sure the first one you found is ذهب, right? So this is one of the simple verb we found. And then if we continue to look, this one يبصرون, it won't be a passive present tense because we know for mujarrad sahih, meaning simple verbs, passive present tense should have the second root letter should have fatha, but this has kasra. So it's not a simple verb. Okay, when we look more, we found this one, yarji'una. So yarji'una, one of the simple verbs. And when again we look over, we found yaj'aluna. Right? So let me go over these two verbs one more time as a match for the pattern. So yarji'una, what does it match with? Yabribuna, yahsibuna. Yaj'aluna, what does it match with? Like yasma'una, yaftahuna, right? Okay, so we should take note of these three verbs, and I have that coming up in a chart. So let's go over and look more, inshallah. And if we go down and then we see one more verb, and that is yakhda'una. Yakhtafu. Yakhtafu. Okay, what does it match with? Yasma'u, yaftahu, right? So in this page, we found 4 simple verbs, alhamdulillah. So let's go over the chart very quickly, inshallah. So if we go over the chart, so we will try to identify exactly the way we did before. So over here we have all 4 verbs. We have ذهب, يرجعون, يجعلون, يخطف. I don't think I need to go over all the details. Mashallah, you have been practicing. So what I will suggest, you can pause this page and match with your findings. And if you have any question, put in the comment section. But I think you will be just fine because these are very simple verbs, and we have practiced quite a few so far, alhamdulillah. So we will move on to our subject today, our topic today, which is the particles. So let's go, inshallah. Bismillah. So our topic is the particles of the verbs. Inshallah, we will be learning the particles in 3 groups. Okay. In the first group, we will learn about the particles ma, la, sa, saufa. Ma and la, these are called negative particles. They have the meaning of not, N-O-T, not. Sa, saufa, these are called future particles. They have the meaning of will, W-I-L-L. Okay. These particles, what do they do actually? How do they affect the verb? These particles change the meanings of the verbs, but they do not change the ending conditions or the grammatical states of the present tense verbs. I think you remember in the first session I mentioned that grammatical states are associated with present tense only because past tense are stateless. We call them mabni. And grammatical states are associated with the ending condition of the verbs. If the ending condition or the ending pattern or ending conjugations of the verbs, they change, we say the grammatical state also has been changed. Okay, but these four particles that we are going to learn today, they do not cause any grammatical state change, meaning they do not cause any change in the ending condition of the verbs. The only change they make is in the meanings of the verbs. Okay, so this is the first group we will learn. Second group of particles we will learn is called particles of Nasb. Okay, it will be in a different session, inshallah. And the session after this, we'll be learning particles of Jazm. Okay, so they will have their own session, inshallah. Now let's move over and learn our particles that we're going to learn today. Ma, la, sa, sawfa. So let's start with ma. Ma is called a negative particle. So we have a table here that's showing the effects of the particle. So let me go over the table quickly, inshallah. So in this table, each row is a tense, okay? Then we have column of verbs, states, meaning of the verb. Then we add the particle ma. Then we again have verbs, states, and meaning. That is after adding the particle, what happens, okay? Over here, the examples I used is nasara yansuru, okay, just as example. And I used single form, singular, like nasara is for like like person wise, singular person, yansuru, singular person, but it is not, limited to singular at all. Whatever effect we'll see, it will be for all the patterns we learned so far. So let's go over one row at a time. So the first verb we have for active past, I should also tell you ma, the particle ma, it comes before past tense, it also comes before present tense. Okay, so let's go over nasara. So this is third person singular male, active, past tense. State mabni, because these are stateless. And what's the meaning? He helped. Then if we add the particle ma, which means not, then the overall construction becomes ma nasara, ma nasara. So that becomes the overall verb. And what's the state? Exactly same, mabni, stateless. And how about the meaning? Now we are going to incorporate not with the original meaning. Original meaning was he helped. So when ma comes, the final meaning becomes he did not help. Okay. Now let's go over passive. Passive past tense. Nusira. Nusira. So again, this is mabni. And the meaning of nusira is he was helped. When we add the ma, or when ma comes before nusira, then it becomes ma nusira. Again, the state is stateless, mabni. And what will the ma do? Ma negates the original meaning, right? Because its meaning is not. So originally he was helped. The meaning was he was helped. Then ma negates the meaning. It becomes he was not helped. Okay. Now let's go over present tense. So we have present tense active and passive examples over here. So we have yansuru. What's the state? This is the default state. Raf'a. Okay, this is the default state. What does it mean? The meaning of yansuru, he helps. When ma comes before yansuru, it becomes ma yansuru. Okay. Why I am showing the raw dhamma in red? I'm just trying to point out the ending condition of the verb. Remember, the ending condition of the verb, present tense verb, can be changed due to the particles come before it. In this case, the ending condition exactly same. Uru, uru, no change. So we say the ma, the particle ma does not constitute any change in the ending condition. That means the state stays as the default, the way it was before. But the only thing changes is the meaning. Before it meant he helps. When you add the ma, when ma comes before yansuru, it becomes he does not help. Okay. Now for the passive, yunsaru. Yunsaru, this is default state. The meaning is he is being helped. When ma comes before that, it becomes ma yunsaru. And the state does not change because the ending condition exactly same before and after. Only the meaning change. So he is being helped, change to he is not being helped. Okay. And again, I'm showing examples for singular person. Okay. But all the patterns we learn, it will have exactly same. For example, the way nasara is changed, just the meaning is negated exactly for all the pattern. Nasara, nasaru, nasarat, nasarata, nasarna, and all the patterns we learn. If any of those patterns, it has ma coming in front of it, then only change will happen. The meaning will be negated. Okay. Same thing for present tense. Yangsuru, yangsurani, yangsuruna, tangsuru, all those patterns we learn. Or yaf'alu, yaf'alani, yaf'aluna, all those patterns we learn. If ma comes as not meaning, then only the meaning will change. I should also tell you ma, the particle ma also has a meaning of interrogative. It's an interrogative particle too. It can mean what? In that case, there is no change in the meaning, nor there is any change in the construction. Okay. Over here, we are learning when ma comes as the meaning not, it does negate the original meaning. It makes a change. Okay. Now let's see some examples from Quran, inshallah. Okay. So we have one example over here. The underlined words over here. Ma khalaqta. Ma khalaqta. Okay. So that way we will just analyze the verb itself first. Then we'll just negate the meaning because ma means not. So what is khalaqta? It's very obvious from the ta suffix at the end. This is past tense. And you don't see khuli. So this is active. So this is active past tense. Okay. And how about the aspects? Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna, fa'alta. Okay. It falls where? Second person singular male. And obviously, if you exclude the ta, it ha, lam, qaf are the root letters. And we have done these root letters before. And we found from the dictionary, these root letters, they take the pattern of khalaqa, yakhluqu. Okay? And the base meaning is to create. So what will be the final meaning? Just this verb, the meaning will be what? You created. But the ma will negate the meaning, so it will mean you did not create. Okay. Now let's go over one more example, inshallah. This particular verse you have seen before because we have worked on it to find out when we were finding verbs, simple verbs in the midst of other words. This is a verb from Surah Al-Baqarah. So I have underlined these two cases. ما يخدعون ما يشعرون. So you can go back to the previous session and find the details of each of these verbs and just negate. So the kha, dal, ain, you will see that it means in general the base meaning, like to cheat, to deceive. So they deceive, they do not deceive, because this is ma. Yash'uruna, shin, ain, ra, it gives the base meaning like to understand, to learn. So ma yash'uruna, they do not understand. Okay, but please go over the last session and look at all the details. I think you know those details by this time. Alhamdulillah. Now let's go over the la, negative particle la. It has exactly same effect as ma. And again, ma, we will learn at this point only one particle, ma, for past tense. All the other particles we learn other than the ma, it will be all related to present tense. Okay, usually only few particles come before past tense. For this point, up to this point, we will learn only ma in front of the past tense. Okay, so present tense yansuru, this is default state. He helps. When la comes in front of it, la yansuru, no change in the ending condition. The original state remains, still default state. So he helps becomes he does not help. Okay, exactly same as ma. Passive yunsoru, default state, meaning he is being helped. When la comes before it, yunsoru, exactly same ending condition, default state remains, and the meaning changed to he is not being helped. And again, I'm just showing you the singular person. All the other patterns exactly same. Okay, yansuru, yansurani, yansuruna. You go over the table, or yaf'alu, or yaftahu. All the table we learned. It doesn't matter what pattern, the default state will change. Only you will change the meaning according to the aspects of that particular word you're working on. Okay, let's go over some example pertaining to particle la. Okay, so we have one example over here. La yuqbalu, la yuqbalu. Okay, so when you see yuqbalu, this is clearly tells you this is passive present tense. Why? Because the prefix has dhamma and the second root letter has fatha. If the second root letter had kasra, it could be a different verb, not a simple verb. Okay, when you have a passive simple verb, the second root letter has to have fatha. So yuqbalu. Okay, what is this? This is present tense passive present tense. Obviously, this is third person singular male, and the root letters are what? Of, ba, lam. If you plug in these root letters in the dictionary, you see these root letters take this pattern. Qabila, yaqbalu. Okay, and the base meaning we find to accept. So what will be the final meaning? Final meaning, if you just do the verb yuqbalu, it was accepted. But the la negates the meaning, so it will be, it is accepted, just the verb. When the la negates, it becomes it is not accepted. Okay. One more example for the la. This is from Suratul Kafirun. Okay. So the words we have la a'budu. Okay. So a'budu, what does it match with? Present tense, right? Hamzah at the beginning tells you this is first person. Also, Hamzah has fatha, that tells you this is active, right? So this is active present tense. This is first person singular male or female. Root letters are ain, ba, dal. When you plug in these root letters in dictionary, you get the pattern abada ya'budu. Okay, and the meaning is the base meaning is to worship. Then what will be the final meaning? Just the verb, I worship. But the la is negating. I don't worship or I do not worship. Okay. Over here, I want to also point out, you see ma, right? Ma ta'buduna. This ma is not negative ma. This is, remember I told you it can be interrogative. This is what. Okay, so ta'buduna. Abada is coming again from this root letters to worship, right? So you worship. What you worship. See, it did not change even the meaning, right? So when it comes to interrogative, it does not change even the meaning. I do not worship what you worship. Okay. Now let's go over our next particles, which are the future particles. Sa, sawfa. Okay. So let's go over the active present tense. Yansuru, default state, means he helps. When sa comes before it, sayansuru. Sayansuru. Okay. Sa, it cannot be a separate detached particle. When it comes to with the verb, it attached. It becomes attached. Sayansuru. There is no change in state because ending condition exactly same. Only it will change the meaning to future tense. He helps becomes he will help. One thing I should mention to you, for present tense, the general meaning can be done three ways. For example, Yang Suru can be translated, he helps, he is helping, he will help. Sometimes it can be translated as future tense. But when sa or sawfa comes, it exclusively takes it to future tense. Okay, then we cannot say he helps or he is helping. He will help. Okay. Okay, now the passive, yunsoru, state default. He is being helped. Sa comes before it. Sayunsoru, default state remains. He is being helped. Change to he will be helped. Okay. Let's go over sawfa. Exactly same effect, no change. So you have yansuru, default state, he helps. Sawfa comes before it. Sawfa yansuru. When you will read it right to left, sawfa will come before it. Okay. Sawfa yansuru, same state because there is no change in the ending condition. And he helps becomes he will help. And passive, yunsoru, same, default state. He is being helped. So when sawfa comes before it, sawfa yunsoru, no change in the state. Again, he is being helped is changed to he will be helped. There is a little difference in terms of meaning or aspect or the explanation of the verse when sa is used where sawfa is used. That's part of the tafsir. Inshallah, in future when you will get more knowledge in tafsir, you will get to understand the difference when sa is used, when sawfa is used, inshallah. Now let's go over some examples in Quran, inshallah. Okay, so we have one example over here. The word is sa'asrifu. 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 So over here, sin fatha is a particle. What is asrifu? Obviously, this is a simple verb, right? Like abribu. Okay, so this is a simple verb with the hamza at the beginning tells you this is first person. Also, hamza has fatha that tells you this is active. Okay, so what will be the identifications? This is active present tense. This is first person singular male female. If you exclude the sin and the hamza, the root letters are صاد را fa, and when you enter صاد را fa in the dictionary, you see they take the patterns صرف يصرف, and the base meaning is to turn. So only the verb tells you what's the meaning. أصرف, I turn, but sin will make it future. So the overall meaning will be I will turn. Okay. Alhamdulillah, we have covered ma, la, sa, sawfa in general in this session. If you have any question, please put that in the comment section. Let's see what's coming up in the next session, inshallah. Oh, we have one more example. Let's go over that. Okay, so we have over here سوف تعلمون. سوف تعلمون. Okay, so this is obviously, you can tell this is present tense, right? And it has to be present tense because they don't come before past tense. And also you can tell that the fatha tells you this is passive. So تعلمون. So this is, sorry, active, I'm sorry. The fatha tells you this is active. So this is active present tense. And when you run the table in your mind, يفعل يفعلان يفعلون تفعل تفعلان يفعلن تفعل تفعلان تفعلون, where does it fall? Second person plural, male. Okay, and if you exclude the ta, the una from the beginning and the end, root letters are ain, lam, mim. When you enter these root letters, the pattern you get alima, ya'lamu, base meaning to know. So the final meaning, only the verb will be what? You know. But sawfa will take it to future. You will know. Okay. So alhamdulillah, that was our last example for this session. Inshallah, in the next session, inshallah, we will be learning particles of Nasb and their effects on the verbs. These particles are very important because they will change the construction at the end of the verb. Okay, so we will see that, and definitely, inshallah, we'll practice more example from Quran. Until then, please keep us in your dua. May Allah grant barakah on all your efforts. Ameen. And if you have any question, please comment in the comment section. And if you find these series beneficial to you, please share with your friends and families. Assalamu alaikum.